Marco, and welcome to BBC News. What do you think about the corona right now?
What do I think about the virus itself?
Yes.
Well, I see it as a very dangerous virus that people aren't taking at full grasp. Some people are actually just believing that the virus isn't real itself. But there are some people out there who really don't see the dangerousness of this epidemic that's going on.
Okay. Um, do you think you can survive another 10 months at home while going outside?
I believe that yes, people can survive even up to years in their house just as long as that they can go out for the basic necessities like food and water. But it's the government and our economy that won't be able to survive this because if you shut down a nation for almost a year, there's going to be no economical output and no money going into the economy to boost up, supply and demand. So our economy will suffer more than the people itself. But if you're asking about the people, yes, we can survive going months, even maybe years into quarantine.
Okay. Do you think we will ever get back to normal?
Yes, of course, because this isn't our first pandemic we've had. Back in 2014, the Ebola virus was spreading out in northern Africa, and we managed to survive there. Even managed to get in some countries to Europe, even here in the United States. There was the swine flu, and then in the 1900s, you had the Spanish flu as well. But over time, viruses go down, and life moves on with or without it. So everything will go back to normal after we figure out a cure because we're already going into testing in multiple facilities into stage 2, stage 3 of human testing, which is showing that we're going closer and closer to an actual vaccine itself. So yeah, I believe it will go back to normal after a while.
Okay. How do you feel? How do you feel that the government is doing?
Well, looking at it, I feel like the government responded a bit too slowly, also due to China not releasing their information about the coronavirus. But overall, the government they're trying their best because remember, we have an economy, a nationwide economy that isn't working to its full potential, so they can't really support us as much as they would if we had the money to. So by giving us those stimulus checks, and even in certain areas in California, they've been giving families cards for $300 per child just so they can go buy groceries so they won't have to be worried about feeding themselves anymore. I think the government is doing an okay job right now. They're trying to get their facilities out there, they're working with people, and they're trying to figure out how this coronavirus actually, began to spread. But overall, they're doing the best of the people. But now, with the reopening of the economy, I feel like that's a little bit worse because in places that are opening up too fast, like in Alabama, in Virginia, and even in New Jersey and Florida, the restrictions are going down very quickly, and people are be able to go free, which is extremely bad, especially in Texas, who completely took off everything, but they never reached their peak of the coronavirus. So instead of reaching that peak slowly and then coming downward, they hit it a lot more rapidly, and a lot more thousands of cases per day were popping up within Texas and within these states who are mainly Republican and aren't listening to the restrictions and the dangers of the coronavirus itself.
Okay. What do you think about the protest that's going on in LA?
All these protests throughout the states, throughout the country itself about releasing the coronavirus is just stupid. It's excuse my language, but it's just very idiotic because these are ignorant people who think viruses and this stuff like this isn't real. Same people who don't believe in vaccines. Most of them know nothing of actual science and how it works. They think it's just something the government created to get money out of us. But in reality, there's thousands of people dying. There's doctors risking their own lives to treat them, the ones protesting, when they get it. I know that, I think it was in New Jersey, there was protesters. The leader of the protesters actually got the coronavirus herself, and at that point, doctors had to save her life, even though she was protesting safety regulations, right? So all those people there are just ignorant people who think they can't survive without basic things that aren't even necessities. They're luxuries at that point.
Okay, last question. You personally, how do you feel? Or how are you doing during the pandemic?
Well, throughout this quarantine, throughout this pandemic, I haven't allowed it to really get to me. I've kept myself busy at home. You don't really need a lot to keep yourself busy. You can be reading books, you can be sitting outside, there's painting, like I've been doing little portraits. They haven't been good at it. Just something to occupy yourself. There's video games, there's excuse me, there's hundreds of things that you can do at your house. You can even be painting around the house, doing your lawn, and you can even go outside to ride your bike. It's just gotta listen to the social distancing rules. It's really not hard to do it. You can even get into your car and go practice driving on your own. It's simple things like that. People are just taking it to extreme and making it seem it's worse than it really is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for interviewing. See you next time.